And he said, in this season, the Lord says, his people cannot be reactionary. They have to be proactive. If they don't heed the warnings of the Lord, that's why I was so happy last week, because I was on the right page. If they don't heed the warnings of the Lord, they cannot be proactive as to what's about to happen. All they can do is walk in circumstance and react. So sin kicking them in the butt, and then they run back looking, and they kick them in the butt, and they turn around looking, and they kick them in the butt, and they turn around looking, and that's all they doing in life. Spinning around in circles, getting kicked in the butt by sin, because they refuse to rule over it. Don't know if you ever felt this way, but have you ever done something wrong in your life and you were ready to react and God tried to slow you down, but in your haste, in your anger, in your emotions, you plow full steam ahead, let your mouth write a check that your butt couldn't cash, and then all of a sudden you're running around telling everybody what somebody did to you. Well, let me help you out. Your mouth opened up. Lord, I'm going to go talk to my brother. You had an opportunity to do something different, but that ain't what you was hearing. You did what you did. You plowed full steam ahead. You realized what you did, and then it was like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And then you tried to hide behind it. The minute you went into a hiding posture of what you're doing, you become the victim. The sad part about it is you reap what you sow. So if you sow violence, it's coming back to you, and you already understand it. It's already now in your atmosphere. Oh, I know I'm all over the place, but I hope you're able to hold on. Cain says to God, all right, I'm going to go work it out with bruh. Goes out in the field and kills Abel. God comes to him and asks him, where your brother at? I don't know. Anybody ever try to play that Scooby-Doo thing? Y'all been with Scooby-Doo when they ask him quick. You know, you start talking, can't nobody understand you but you. It's in that Chewbacca language. Come on now. Or maybe it's your facial expression. What you talking about? And I already told you, not relying on yourself. You know. What happened was, you lying already. We know. See, this is what I heard. You lying, we know. You heard it, you just tuned it out. I don't know about you. My mama would tell me to do something, and I would be in a rush to go play, and I would half do it because I heard what I wanted to hear. I heard just enough for the time frame that I was willing to work. To go do what I wanted to do. Which takes me all the way back to my exhortation about sacrifice. You ready for this? Many times what we will do for God is we'll hear just enough to get us by to what we want to do. And that's what we're going to give him. Wait a minute. I'm going to hit you with money. You ready? Because this related. The Bible tells us to give our 10% as a tithe. But then it says an offering. How often is it that we offer anything more than the 10%? Watch this. If I tithe 10% of my time to read the word, what else am I offering God? I'm sorry, I ain't worried about money, because The plate ain't what I'm tripping off of. I'm trying to get you mature enough to walk in your opportunity to reign in dominion. See, you can't rule over sin in a poverty mentality. You can't rule over sin when the truth comes to you and you get angry. You can't rule over sin if you don't want to rule over yourself. And the Lord is literally saying, I need you to understand the motive in your giving. Because this just ain't money. This ain't just prayer. This is your heart. And your mouth can say a lot of different things, but what's coming out of your actions say something totally different. Because Cain just sat back and said, I'm going to go work it out with Abel. And he killed him. Abel ain't did nothing to nobody. All Abel wanted to do was just give himself away. He out there just trying to do for the Lord. But Cain, with his selfish, self-centered tail, those are other characteristics of the spirit of Cain. He gonna make the situation about him. When other parties are involved, they will make it about themselves. And then when confronted with it, they bring the woe is me. Because this is what God said after he told Cain, oh, you do, the blood from the land is crying out. I know he did. What, you thought you could hide that from me? I'm going to banish you from this land. Gone. I gave you a chance, but instead of you taking the second chance, because you wouldn't pay attention the first chance, because the warning's already coming, I already gave you opportunities, but that ain't what you wanted. What you wanted was what you wanted, so I'm going to let you have it your way. Go do it in your space. Leave this land. And Cain says, but they gonna kill me. Did y'all just see how he turned into a victim? He was big bad bully when it was the folks close to him. Anybody know somebody that's always stepping on folks' toes that's close to them? And then when they get around other folk, they're a punk. I don't mean to use it that way, but they're a punk. I know a lot of people like that. I know a bunch of church folk like that. Church community, they big, bold, and bad. Get out in the world and they're a punk. You say anything to anybody else inside the walls. But to do something outside the walls, you're a punk. When God sat back and said, get up out the walls, Cain, in all his arrogance, all his magnificence. But I need you now, Lord. Did I just go back to the exhortation again? I need you to protect me, Lord. You gonna do me like that? Cain, or the spirit of Cain, the struggle that he has is ego. Spirit of Cain's ego pushes him out of the place he belongs and into places that he's not safe. Have you ever been prompted by your ego and it got you put out of, disqualified from, not only where you wanted to be, but where you belonged? Ever opened your mouth that quick when you shouldn't have opened your mouth in the first place, all you had to do was sit there and swallow it. Because what you didn't realize is you set an atmosphere, not for them, but for yourself. You thought you was projected at them, but what they did was they said, I'm going to give you a Snicker since it satisfies you. I'm going to let you do what it is you want to do since it satisfies you. And the same way the Lord won't force you to do anything, neither will the character of God or those walking in that fruit. So when the Lord was talking to me and saying, set an atmosphere, I need in your atmosphere for you to give me. Watch this. The warning wasn't hard to Cain, but it sounded hard to him. I ain't got to where I was at, and I got tons and tons and tons of stuff, and we might be back on it again next week, but because the Lord said that, you know, next year is the season for training to be able to reign, but we gonna, we finna hit a whole nother level. But he said you gotta do the groundwork, and this year of tearing down all the strongholds and kicking you in your tails all year long, this was your digging season. Sometimes you got to dig and excavate in order to set the foundation. And now that the foundation is set, you can reign over something that you're building. Oh, thank you, Jesus. But to Cain, what God said was an insult. To Cain, what God said was character turned down. You turned down who I look like. To Cain, it hurt so bad because he was after acceptance so much. Not knowing that he was accepted all along. But just needed some correction. He needed some turning, some guidance, some movement. See, sometimes when we're so stuck in us, you know, when you can't shake out of it. You know, you can't shake that devil off your back because you ain't been ruling over what he been doing. Remember I told y'all last week, the devil ain't that smart. He keep trying the same thing over and over and over and over again. Watch this. Only different thing that he does is he brings a different person. And a lot of times, he won't even bring a different person if you ain't overcome them. You might got that one person that just irked their nerves. Ain't got nothing to do with them. Devil say, yeah, let me get behind their words real quick. They ain't said nothing ignorant. They ain't said nothing stupid for real. It's the way we heard it. It was the way we listened. See, a lot of times, God will use those situations to whisper to you. Wait a minute. If he's whispering, warning, or whatever, I mean, I got to be listening. Got to be listening. Watch this. When consequence comes, we hear it quickly. We understand every word of the consequence there was. But watch this. When it's a nice nudge or a warning, I ain't heard that. No, that don't fit the plan. It's only until we're forced to move, until we're forced to react, that we listen. Somebody turn to James 1. Somebody read me 19 and 20.
Remember this, my dear friends. Everyone must be quick to listen, but slow to speak and slow to become angry. Human anger does not achieve God's righteous purpose.
James was on something. He was on something big. Be slow to speak. Because too often we get caught in the tangled web of our words. And I hate to tell you this, A lie can only be performed through words. A lie comes from your confession. Be slow to speak. Wait a minute. If I'm slow to speak and I'm just listening and I'm just listening and I'm just listening, I'm listening to all of this extra. But now I know what to give because I've taken my time. But if I'm already planning my defense, I'm at war. I'm setting an atmosphere to fight. Because I heard the one word that you said and it set me. Wait a minute, we talked about bait on Wednesday. I took the bait then triggered me, and all of a sudden I'm ready to say something else. I ain't gonna say something else. You waiting on it. You ain't tripping off of what's coming behind it. That one word then sets you. You in a whole different atmosphere. You in a whole different realm, and your atmosphere say, yeah, we gonna move some furniture today, buddy. The sad part about it is when you're quick to speak, slow to listen, and then you begin to miscommunicate, you start missing points, you start missing directions, you start missing warnings. Watch this, you start missing blessings. You start missing seed that was being passed to your hand because you ain't really looking at it because your fist balled up. That can't produce anything godly. Cain brought fruit. Well, I want you to understand something. James wouldn't have put that in there if that wasn't regular routine for people. That's regular routine today, isn't it? But watch this. If you do everything unto the Lord, everything unto the Lord, let me say it again, everything unto the Lord, and I'm putting that fruit on the altar. How can? Think about it. How many times have we brought that to the altar? Well, I wasn't in church. Everywhere I go, everything I do is an act of worship. And that in itself has some things to think about and make me go, Lord, I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me try again. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. Lord, let me try again. You know what? They making me mad, but I realized that in the past I couldn't do that. Because every time I did that, it didn't work. Let me try this. Okay, that didn't work. Lord, what is it that you're trying to tell me about me? Turn to Ephesians 4. (26 through 28). Somebody read it.
In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. Anyone who has been stealing must steal no longer, but must work. Do something useful with their own hands, that they may have something to share with those in need.
Read the last verse again.
Anyone who has been stealing must steal no longer, but must work. Do something useful with their own hands, that they may have something to share with those in need.
Why did I make you read that scripture again? Because we're talking about anger and listening and warning and instruction. See, what's funny is, wherever there's a warning, there's always going to be a what? Instruction. See, again, Paul gives a warning. Don't let the sun set on your anger. Watch this. Here comes yet another warning, because if you do, you're going to give the devil a foothold. You're going to let him get into a place in your life that you don't need to be. So once you don't let the sun set on your anger, I need you to go do something productive with it. So if indeed you a thief, steal no more. So that way you can have something to give to somebody else later on. Go be productive. All God said to Cain was, look, buddy, if you do what's right, you will be accepted. Go do something productive. We get mad, we start mumbling and complaining. In this church, when folks get a little mad about what's being said, I start hearing grunts. I be thinking there's some wild born animals in here. Y'all get mad at me, I don't care. Listen to it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure y'all hear yourself. What the heck? I don't remember no moose being in here, but it's okay. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Don't get mad. Do something productive. That's your pastor. If it ain't the truth, then you ain't got nothing to trip off of, right? But if it's the truth, do something productive. Don't get mad. Wait a minute. Don't dwell on it. Don't start reacting to it. Listen. 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 I don't know about y'all, but when I get mad, my mind goes 1,000,000 miles per hour. Wheels just be spinning. I'm pretty sure people can hear wheels and they're spinning. And I ain't able to hear from the Lord. I don't know about y'all, but me personally, when I'm mad, I can't hear from the Lord. Why? Because I'm not in the same atmosphere as him. I didn't create my own. When I'm grieving super hard and I'm super sad, it's hard to hear from the Lord because all I hear in my mind is what I want. I ain't looking to do nothing productive because the only thing that I can see to be productive, tunnel vision, is what I want. Spirit of Cain, he gonna get what he want. He's what I call, we ain't gonna say he controlling. What we'll say is he likes to dictate his situation. That's a good word. He gonna dictate how people deal with him. Cain is a kind gentleman. He's a nice guy. Till you piss him off. Cain's a wonderful individual. He'll give you the shirt off his back until it cost him something. Watch this. Cain is always moving to produce more when it benefits him. So it's real easy for him to get angry because when it does not benefit him, all of a sudden his actions show that he ain't really sharing with nobody. He will isolate himself and he'll kill off the closest ones to him. Oh, this was a good study. This was a real good study. Been on it for 2 weeks. Good study. But I want you to understand something in the warning. Now, this is 2 weeks in a row we've preached a warning. Correct? So we got one with Habakkuk. Then we went all the way back to the beginning. Okay, Lord, yes. Before I finish that statement, here we go. Ready to do a nugget. Free nugget. You want to cut a root? this back and he exposes where you are. Go back to the beginning. Find the beginning. You want change, you want to begin to do something productive, go back to the beginning. Here's what's funny. Your mind will go back to the beginning to correct what was wrong. But God says, you don't lose no space, time, or distance. Because I'm going to set you in the same place you were to keep moving forward. The problem is, once you overcome what was behind you, it can't kick you in the butt no more. You got to rule over it. Uh-oh. So let me go to that statement. I'm going to close. I'm good. I'm good with it. Thank you, Lord. I'm feeling real good about this. You ready? God said, sin is crouching at the door, waiting on you to react. But instead of reacting, I need you to rule. I want you to think about something. People that rule don't deal with what's going on for the day. They always rule for tomorrow. And they don't rule for themselves, they rule for others. People that rule have foresight. They see ahead of the situation and circumstance that they might currently be in. In a presidential election, they tell you the platform in which they're running on and what they're going to do over the next 4 to 8 years. That's foresight. And what the result will be. And they're the ruling, presiding president over the nation. Well, watch this. God made you a king. He said, I need you to rule over sin, but I want you to also rule over everything in the earth. Because the rule means to hold dominion over. You go back to the beginning where he made man. He said, I give you dominion over what? Come on, somebody talk to me. He gave you dominion over what? We don't know it.
Over the fish of the air, the fowl of the sea, over every creeping thing, over everything in the earth except man.
Boom! That includes spirits. If he gave you dominion over that, but that's the one area we don't ever think about. That ain't the area we want to touch. That's spooky. It's spooky. Wait a minute. That's where you have influence and power over, but it's spooky to you. I need you to rule over nonsense. But watch this. Remember I told you last week that many times we couldn't keep the laws, so it was perverted. So all of a sudden the things of God start seeming like nonsense. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Sin is crouching at the door, waiting to have you. There's a spirit sitting up behind you, waiting to take over and take dominion over you. God is literally calling out a possession. But because spiritual ears were closed, he couldn't hear it. Because physical ears didn't want to receive anything, wasn't tripping off of it. Watch this. Because he had tunnel vision of, put this darn fruit down. I could have ate this. I could have made some applesauce with these apples, dude. What's up with you? And you gonna tell me you don't approve of it? I can't touch you. So I'm gonna get the next closest thing to you. I'm gonna get what you like. I don't know if y'all ever had this problem, that sibling rivalry. Me and my brother, mama did something good to my brother, I beat the hell out of him when she wasn't looking. You can't whoop me now, leave me alone. Well, when I played sports, and I was a team player until the coach said something great about somebody else, so I had to go outdo them. And I didn't care what it took to outdo them. You're gonna kill it. You ready for this? I was pretty much the smartest person in school all the time. Didn't want nobody to know it. So I played dumb and I messed up on purpose. But I was literally the smartest person in school all the time. I knew stuff. I never had to study. Never. Never. I'm talking didn't read books, nothing. I was pretty much a B+ student all the way through school. Had I even just read the book, I probably would have had straight A's. Got to college and figured out, hey, reading really does help. That's that 1 or 2 questions that I missed. Because I was pretty much a straight A student in college. Because I decided to read. And a couple of classes that I didn't read, and praise Jesus, I passed. But in saying that, I was real competitive with other people. You ain't gonna outdo me. You ain't gonna outshine me. You can't be better than me. I'm the best at everything, and when I'm not the best at everything, I'm gonna make you look stupid. So people would think that I'm the best at it. Spirit of Cain. It's the spirit of Cain. And many times, we'll hear ourselves saying it and ignore it. I don't know about you. No, I don't know about you, but yeah. Have you ever heard yourself say something that was just plumb wrong? You know you ain't got no business saying it whatsoever. And you know the outcome of what's going to happen if you're found out. You ain't worried about them. Just want to say it because that's what you want. There are times in which I was mad at God. I'm sorry, pastor ain't supposed to say that. I'm going to tell you the truth. It was times I was mad at God. And those that I saw working with God or for God or God working through them. Oh, I wouldn't say nothing to God because then it would seem as if I wasn't humble before his sight. But I'd tear them down in a heartbeat. They on my hit list. Got something bad to say about. I'm going to throw a little shade on them. I'm going to trip them so they can look a little dumb in front of people. Whatever it was that I could do, I was going to do. I'm sorry you ain't supposed to say this, Pastor, but here goes the problem. If you are watching this and you ain't did it, God bless you. But I promise you, you can find an instance in your life where you've done it to somebody. Not because you were mad at them, because you were mad at somebody else, but they were the closest thing to you or the most accessible thing to you to project your anger on. And all you was trying to do for real was shake a spirit that was behind you. But watch this. Once you gave in and you didn't rule over that thing, not only did that spirit have you for the moment, now I got them tripping. Now you got war with somebody else and watch this. They supposed to be a Christian. I thought you loved the Lord. My worship is for real. And they want to throw something at you because for real, your worship with them was horrible. Your worship with them was, I can't stand you. But it ain't that I can't stand you, I just can't stand what's behind me. And I'm a punk. It's spooky to me. I don't want to rule over it. I don't want to take dominion over it. I don't want to take power and authority over it. What I want to do is run. So I guess that's the biggest warning in that, the decree. I want you to understand, God decreed it over you. Rule over it. It was an instruction. It's a demand. Rule over it. Well, we heard this story of Cain and Abel, and all we ever hear about is the murder of Abel, but we never heard what God really said to Abel. I'm sorry, to Cain. We never paid attention to the fact that God was really telling Cain, stop being a pawn. You trying to fight, but you ain't fighting nobody. Your battle's with me. You don't like what I said to you. Uh-oh. I'm all in the spiritual kitchen right now. You don't like what I've been showing you. You don't like what I've been telling you. You don't like my timetable. You don't like the way that I provide for you. You're going to take it out on them, but you really got an issue with me. Quit tripping with them. Face me. I'm confronting you while you're running. I'm sorry. Let's be real here. How many times did we have an issue with somebody else, but we couldn't take it to the Lord? Because real talk, you wanted the Lord to change them, but the Lord said, no, I put them in your life so they can change you. So your issue ain't with them, your issue is with me. I allowed them in your life to put you on a detour because you was on a straight beeline to hell. Running from the very spirit that is tormenting you. Rule over it. Where you at? What is the root of this thing that's tormenting you? Could it be that you're just mad at God? Because I'm supposed to be, no, you're supposed to be right where your buddy is right now. It's in God's time, it's in God's plan. I should know you have exactly what God gave you right now. What are you going to do with it? Instead of complaining about everything else, and all it's doing is fueling your anger. It's helping to bring your bait into play. How about you just say, thank you, Lord, for my little bit? Can you be like the woman that only had 2 mites? Because that little bit was given from a heart of thanks. That little bit was given from a heart of worship. That little bit looked like nothing to nobody else, but it was the greatest thing that Jesus acknowledged. How many times do we go into the presence of the Lord with just a little bit and we holding on? And it ain't an issue with nobody else. It ain't even an issue with ourselves. It's an issue with him. I'm sorry, that's the spirit of Cain. The spirit of Cain has an issue with God that he don't want to work out. But he expects for God to keep giving and giving and giving and giving so he can take. How can we rule? How are we supposed to rule? I ain't never ruled over nobody. Hell, in school, I ain't even like a ruler. How am I supposed to rule? How about you go to the one that has dominion, power, and authority over everything? Lord, show me an example. Give me the wisdom. Give me the character to be able to do it. Lord, let me walk in some integrity to rule. Because you got to have it. You got to have it. So what I did was, I asked. Because I watch a lot of kingdom type movies. I like them old barbaric movies where the king come out and he got a big old turkey leg and he eating it with some berries and You know, he just dip his hands and everything and look at everybody like, I wish you would say something to me. You know, that'd be so cool to me. And people be blowing horns at him when he come out and be like, yeah, I'm stuff. Me with a big purple robe, crushed velvet. Yeah, I like that type stuff. Sorry. But I watch their mannerisms. I watch their confidence. But you know what I look for more than anything? I look for their flaws. And look to see whether or not they look to hide them. Because when you're in authority, when you're in rule of something, other people will take advantage of your weakness, correct? But a confident king, that's a godly king, understands his weaknesses are covered. Because if he's walking in the rule over sin, that thing ain't kicking him in the butt. It's God pushing him. Come on, let's go. Let's go. So remember, you put on the armor of God, and the armor cover everything in the front. But your whole backside is out there. You just mooning everybody else behind you. And God saying, come on, let's move, boy. Let's move. Let's move. See, that's what you got to begin to understand. When you walk in the kingdom, if God, Jesus, is your real king. See, a lot of times, you know, he made us all kings, so I'm a king. The rulers that I admired in the movies the most were those that were average, everyday dudes. Yeah, they had their crushed velvet robe. That was just, I'm going to give you one. But they were average. They were ordinary. You didn't have to, oh, your Royal Highness, kiss my pinky. No, you didn't have that. Those type, the kiss my pinky people, they were so insecure. They were always at war with everyone and themselves. The atmosphere around them sucked. It was tension, chaos. But the average everyday dudes, there was such a peace around them because they had such a peace about them. So I have to take a look around me first and be like, okay, Lord, I'm seeing chaos, and like that means you being chaotic. You got to give me to the atmosphere. Oh, well, I went back again, didn't I? You got to give my wisdom to the atmosphere. And I want you to understand. Let's do this. Turn to Luke 6, 38. Boop, boop. You see how he put them numbers in my head? Luke 3:8. Nope, we're going Luke 6, 3:8. He put the numbers in my head. He didn't say 38. He said 6, 3:8. Let's go there. Somebody read that for me.
Give to others, and God will give to you. Indeed, you will receive a full measure, a generous helping, poured into your hands, all that you can hold. The measure that you use for others is the same measure that God will use for you.
What you put in the atmosphere, you're going to get back. The Lord is literally saying, I need you to learn to give, not out of your abundance, but out of your lack. I'm putting the word in your spirit right now. So if indeed you lack in peace, you need to begin to give peace. Well, wait a minute. You can't give it a little bit of abundance. You can't give it out of your abundance. So if stop, slow down. Cain gave out of his abundance. An abundance of fruit, let me give God some sacrifice. He got back what he really gave. Nothing. need to give as much peace to as many people as possible so that I can reap that thing back. If my bills ain't getting paid, I don't need to start charging people. I need to be giving, so God can give it back. If I'm a little slow, I need to go seek the knowledge of God and give it so he can give me more. I'm telling you, don't do it out of your abundance. Do it out of your lack. Watch this. The king that was humble, the king that walked around with his booty out and God just patted him on the booty, he ruled from his lack, not from his strength. Many times we want to strong on God, but the problem is, how can you strong on somebody that's stronger than you? Cain wanted to strong on God. I don't know what you're missing, but you ain't going to get it strong on God. Watch this. If you ain't getting no rest, help somebody else rest. Do it from your lack, not from your strength. That was for free. And last but not least, if I rule over something, that means I'm in charge, correct? I did a little something here, and I'm like, Lord, you gotta show me what this rule is, this dominion, and what it really looks like. And he said, Dwayne, I need you to turn to Proverbs 19. So I flipped to Proverbs 19 and start reading. Like, don't none of this really make sense to me. Because all it's saying is everything that man says that would be of rule don't work. And then I got to the 11th verse. Actually, the 10th verse. And this is what the scripture said. It's not fitting for a fool to live in luxury. How much worse for a slave to rule over prisoners? A person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. When you rule, you walk in glory. Many times we're praying for patience, but we really need to do what? Wait a minute. The one king of Israel that never fought a war but brought his folks all the way up. His name was Solomon. And God asked him what he wanted. And he said, I don't want no money. I already look good. I got all the women in the world.